What does it mean to be globally competent? There is no one answer to this question, so I decided to set out and find my own. According to worldsavvy.com, global competence is the skills, values, and behaviors that prepare young people to thrive in a more diverse, interconnected world. I like this definition because it points to the future, both for myself and the world at large. In a rapidly changing world, the ability to be engaged citizens and collaborative problem solvers who are ready for the workforce is essential. So, how can I relate to these ideas to my own industry and myself as a professional entering the workforce? Dentistry is definitely not homogeneously globally competent. There are some countries, like the US, that are the frontrunners in technological advancement and achievements that become more effective every year. And then there are other countries, like the notorious Europeans, who view dentistry as something optional or aesthetical only. And that's only taking into account the first world. People living in third world countries don't even have access to basic health care, much less dental benefits. Even on our own US soil, there are people who cannot afford adequate dental care. How can we set a good example for others if we cannot care for our own citizens? We are not projecting an image of trustworthiness or competence in other cultures with our politicization of healthcare. Which brings me to the core point of this course. What does it mean to have responsible global citizenship? There is a huge group of people from all across the globe that want to spread awareness of the impact of our global society and to heighten the awareness we have of our impact on the world. The American perspective is a limited one, no matter how hard we try to pretend otherwise. Marshall McLuhan predicted long ago that mankind would be unable to function civilly in a globalized world, and we would all have to branch off into our own individual tribes. I see global connections reported as significant issues on the news every day and try to analyze them from different perspectives. The goal of globalization is to increase communication, understanding, and compassion for each other all across the globe. Healthcare is something that everyone can appreciate and relate to because we all experience the same physical things as humans. If we want to improve our sharing and understanding of one another and allow countries to benefit from our knowledge, we must put forth the effort. We should be working harder to promote education and ridding the world of information. If people could understand the importance of what we try to do as dentists, we could help teach future generations about healthy oral hygiene habits that would save them money and ease the strain of resources on our individual governments. But what does this mean to me on a personal level? How can I improve my own global competencies in both my professional and personal life? The field of dentistry as an industry that I never expected to find myself working in. If you want to make a career out of it, there are several different options to choose from. You can work with patients directly during procedures, handle the financial side of the business, research and develop new materials, or provide informational support to your patients that help them understand what their options are. Currently, I'm a dental assistant, which means I am with my patients from the moment they enter our office until the moment they leave. After graduation, I hope to move on to a reputable insurance company where I can attempt to help people financially instead. In order to do my job effectively, I will need to know the industry upside down and inside out. Trying to assess where I am at in my globalization education, I thought about how I relate to many globalization theorists who have come before me. I've always tried to recognize the dynamics of cultural differences that other cultures have from my own. In order to fully appreciate how little I know about my own global practices, I will need more experience with other people, and hopefully in the future I will be able to acknowledge my lack of understanding of other places, even as I participate in their rituals. I think the main thing I'm learning from this course so far is how to apply cross-culture sensitivity. This has always been especially difficult for me because I am a huge pop culture fan. I see, hear, and read things every day that try to represent, either obviously or subtly, people and places that I have no experience with, and this gives me a false sense of knowledge. I need to be diligent about reminding myself that the American interpretation of things is frequently inaccurate and needs much scrutiny. In addition to this, I also need to promote diversity among both my patients and my coworkers in the future. I recently took a leadership studies course that studied the effectiveness of a diverse team, and the most recent findings are all very positive. Having different voices and points of view really offers a well rounded opinion to any idea that is put forward. Without diversity, our lives would be incredibly boring. This all ties into the ways I try to appreciate context and perspective as it relates to other cultures. We teach equality to ourselves and everyone else, but the truth is that our differences are what make us special. Like Franz Trompeter said in his TED Talk about peaches and coconuts, if you want to get to know someone from a different culture, you must first understand where they come from and what their customs are. I'll end my presentation with a quote from Courtney Bell, a writer and consultant for worldsavvy.org. Courtney says, "In the 21st century and beyond, this is what all people will need: to be engaged citizens, to be prepared for jobs of the future, and to be locally and globally problem solvers. This is what I hope to exemplify in my future career as I become a truly globalized individual." Thank you. What does it mean to be globally